freshman out of San Pasqual, number 5, Brandon Jeffers. A freshman out of Mission Hills, number 7, Gavin Gullen. A freshman out of Great Oak, 14, Jack Vasquez. A freshman out of Mission Hills, 15, Alexander Oregon. A freshman out of Mission Hills, 17, Alonzo Torres Rojas. A sophomore to Carlsbad, number 20, Stephen Renner. A freshman out of San Pasqual, 21, Cheraboy Inestra. A sophomore of El Camino, number 24, Leo Ayala. And the starting keeper tonight for the Spartans, a sophomore to Carlsbad, number 1, Brian Castaneda. They come in with a record of 11-6-5 overall. They were third-place finishers in the Orange Empire Conference. They are the Bobcats from Saddleback College. Let's meet the Bobcats. At 5'8", the sophomore to Jay Sarah, number 1, Nathan Aquino. At 5'7", and a freshman out of Lisa Miguel, 5, Jason Starks. At 6 foot, and a sophomore of Tesoro, 10, Andrew Junn. At 6 foot, he's a freshman out of Beckman, 13, Christoph Luckmeyer. At 5'7", and a freshman out of Mission Viejo, 15, Grotzesender. At 5'11", he is a sophomore of Elisa Miguel, 17, Ryan Mann. At 6'1", and a sophomore to Northwood, 20, Joel Smith. He's 6 foot, he's a sophomore to San Juan Hills, 21, Tyler Peterson. At 5'7", and a sophomore to Trabuco Hills, 22, Alejandro Gonzalez. At 6 foot, and a sophomore of Jay Sarah, 25, Alex Martinez. And the starting keeper for the Cats here in the regional semis, the 6-foot sophomore to Tesoro 00, Dominic DeFrena. The head coach, PJ McNichol. Assistants, Daniel Pask, Stephen Fagundes, Eric Canales, Kyle Paisano, and Jeff Reagan. Now, ladies and
Welcome to Community College Soccer here on Sportsnet, USA.net. It's the day of the men as the women move on last night, beating Santiago Canyon in an exciting game that ended with a drag and a heel kick for a goal in the last 45 seconds of the game. Let's hope today's game will be just as exciting as Saddleback takes on MiraCosta, the Spartans, who are in white, traveling from left to right. And, of course, your Bobcats in their traditional scarlet, red, you name it, with gold lettering going from right to left. We'll give you the lineups as this game goes on. For Saddleback, DeFrina in the gold, Aquino, Starks, Andrew Junn, Luke Meyer, Christopher's always there, Gus Rodesender, Ryan Mann, Joel Smith, Tyler Peterson, Alejandro Gonzalez, and Alex Martinez. So ball goes out. That'll give me a chance for the Spartans. Brian Castaneda will be in gold. Brett Kozer, Dominic Wicks, Brandon Jeffries, Gavin Gloob, Jack Vasquez, Alexander Organ, Alonzo Torres Rojas, Stephen Renner, Charboy Inestra, Leo Ayala, and that's the lineup for MiraCosta, the Spartans, here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Spartans in white with dark shorts on. Quick little move by Renner. Renner clears it up in the middle. It's a breakaway, one on goal, and we get an offsides flag. We do. A delayed offsides flag, as it looked like Renner had made a clean kick. But referee stopped the play and said, no, it didn't really work out that way, as Gavin Gloob was trying to make a run. Far corner. Little buckling going out. Try to get saved over there. Can't do that. Alejandro Gonzalez tries to save it in the far side of the field. Couldn't do it for your Bobcats. Of course, Andrew Junn is going to come down. Watch it very closely with the throw-in. Defensively, the Bobcats staying on top of people. Keeping the ball in. Stays with the Spartans of MiraCosta. Brett Kozer throws it back, looking for a throw-in on the far side of the field. Kozer tries to have it go to it. It goes off his foot, therefore it goes back to Saddleback College. Move the throw-in around at the 30. Take it back to DeFrina in the goal. DeFrina set things back up. Deep kick. Looking to go in the middle. Saddleback turning on it, trying to get a shot. Deep kick down the left side, trying to get it to Jason Starks. And it just goes a little too far for Jason out there to catch up with it in the corner. It'll be a goal kick for the Spartans. Everybody's sort of feeling each other out right about now. Who's doing what? What setup they're running? Does it reshape when they go down the field? Stays with the throw-in. Stephen Renner is going to throw it in. Renner looking over. Throwing along the corner. Battling down there. Taken out of the air by Dominic Wicks. Wicks again gets a foot on it. Drops around in the middle, cleared out by your Bobcats. As the Bobcats go to the middle of the field, trying to do something with it. Left over there on that side for Gus. Gus just couldn't catch up with it. Then they go back to the middle, and of course stepping in is Gonzalez. They take it all the way back to Castaneda, their tender, who comes out. Reset things for the Spartans. Going on a deep shot, DeFrina just comes over and says, you know what? Just biscuits and gravy. I'll take an easy shot. Ball is just laid there. Nobody goes to it. This is what we've talked about. Nice play by Jack Vasquez as a sliding tackle keeps the ball from getting to the goal, and a beautiful defensive play by your Bobcats as you looked at Joel Smith just sacrificing a hip to make sure there was no shot on goal. MiraCosta with the first corner of this game. The backside for a header, up and out. So a nice set play. MiraCosta couldn't pull it off. The Spartans were trying to find something there. But it was a wonderful kick by Alexander Organ. So Alexander put it on the back post where he needed to. You look at your Bobcats, 11-6-5 overall, 6-4-4 in conference. MiraCosta, 12-7-3, 7-3-2 in conference. Taken out of the air, and a nice little thing by Jason Starks. Starks loses it. Taken by Rodriguez. So Anthony Rodriguez is on the field. Gives it to Ayala. Ayala takes it back to the keeper. Castaneda plays it to the far side of the field. Laid there for an easy picking by Alex Martinez. Martinez over to Gus Rotesender. Gus turns, dances on the far side, goes down, slips. They're going to say he slipped on the ball. Cleared to the middle of the field by Wicks. Once again, your Bobcats down on the attack. Take it. And you will watch the defenders as Jund, now in the middle, looks for someplace, tried to get it in the middle, could not, goes down, doesn't get a call. And it's a run the other direction. Starks has it. Drops it off, and just a little too far down the field for Ryan Mann, who couldn't catch up with it, coming down the left side of the field. 9 minutes have been played here on SportsNetUSA.net. So, goal kick for the Spartans. Brian Castaneda for the Spartans. Goals against 1.14 this season in goal for the Spartans. Brian's had a good season when you look at what he can do as a tender for the Spartans. Far kick. Saved over there, and so far the defense has responded the way you want to for Saddleback as Jason Starks, far side of the field. Gives it up. Starks to the far side. Gus puts it in the middle. Cleared out by the Spartans. So the real first turn of energy is by your Bobcats in the first 10 minutes of play. The winner moves on to play Cuyamaca. That will be an away game for either one of these teams that win today here on SportsNetUSA.net. deep into the box. And you go up and get it. Nice play. Brian Castaneda didn't wait for that for the Spartans. He went up and attacked the ball, and that's what helped. Castaneda gets it out to Jack Vasquez. Vasquez sends it down the field for Renner. And they're going to say Jack was offsides. Jack looks over at the linesman and says, okay, I thought the ball was down in front before I beat the defender. They said, no, you were in front of the defender before the ball even got there. So the Bobcats, once again, so far it has been deep ball by each team trying to get it down there, trying to get it to Andrew Jun. Off the foot, who's it stay with? It stays with the I thought they said it stayed with the Bobcats. Interesting point by the lines judge because he did point in favor of the Bobcats. The referee overruled him. Andrew, 1 against 4. And you can see who they think is the best player on this team. And of course, when you look at Andrew this year, points in the OEC, number 1 with 34. So he easily did that this season. Also one of the top in shots with 54 this season. Deep throw again. Into the box, headed out. And it will be a corner for the Bobcats. So the Bobcats will get an opportunity. This Rotosender handling the corner. Drops it off. Rotosender gets it back. Line drive in the middle. Backside of the goal. Again, got a goalie that can get up and get there. Castaneda, sophomore out of Carlsbad, is 6'1". He's got leaping ability as a goalkeeper. So he's got that few inches on people that are attacking him with the ability to jump. He gets about an 8-inch reach on anybody else when you make the play. Gus is all over the field. Nathan Aquino looking to do something with the ball, gives it to Gonzalez. Gonzalez takes a deep far run on the right-hand side. And basically, MiraCosta comes up with it as it's controlled by Alexander Organ. Trying to make a play, but nobody back for the Spartans as the ball go out. So it'll be a throw in for the Spartans. Taken by Jack Vasquez. Vasquez looking to throw it in. So Vasquez throws it in basically, gets knocked back out. So Jack's just going to run down the line, pick it up, get a few more feet. Look for Steven Renner, who rolls in. Renner rolls off the roll. It goes out. So this time it's with the Bobcats. Well, the first 14 minutes of this half have not seen a true threat on either team when you look at what's going on out here. So they're going to say the referee had the ball staying with the Bobcats, and they do is once again the linesperson has it going the opposite direction. This is twice the linesperson has been overruled by the referee on this, as Ryan Mann will make the throw in for your Bobcats. So Ryan Mann gets it in, gets it over to Jung. Jun tries to get it out. Andrew does. Comes up. They stay high. looking for some way to play it, get it down to Lukemire. Gives it over to Stark, goes back to him. Now to Stark. Stark goes down, goes towards the end. He turns. Rhoda center. Shot off. Ball's laying around. Nobody could pick it up. Pinball wizard going there as Castaneda could not control it. He couldn't find it. And the Bobcats were swarming all over it. If it was like the beehive in my backyard, there would have been a lot of honey sitting there here on SportsNetUSA.net. So a true shot on goal that time. Leo Ayala. Plays the ball, drops it off to Castaneda. Ayala for MiraCosta. Ayala gets it back from Castaneda and goes deep on the far side. Steven Renner tries, and he does. He keeps it in, so Renner from MiraCosta goes down, keeps it in. As the ball gets inadvertent handball, not whistled like we've said this before. Ball goes down. And player laying on the ground, they're going to blow the whistle is Brandon Jeffers of MiraCosta. Just sort of laying there as a display model on the turf, had everybody playing around him. Dominic Wicks will take the free kick. In the middle. DeFrina just says, okay, that's easy. A little soft line drive hit to me. I've got it. So it looks like the Bobcats started this game playing a 4-3-3 is what the formation would be for your Saddleback Bobcats. MiraCosta makes a move. Organ takes it to the high side of the road. Forward back. Offsides by Renner. Renner was off by a lot for MiraCosta. He just sort of walked down, and your four defenders for the Bobcats all sort of raised their hands and said, yeah, I think he's offside. Alex Martinez stuck his hand up first and said, yeah, offside. There's no doubt about it. Ryan Mann said, I agree. So Mann, one of the defenders for your Bobcats today. So Mann will stay back as a solid defender for your Bobcats. As right now, the Bobcats are just trying to open up the field, looking for an alley as they play, basically catch on the back line. Ryan Mann puts it down. Andrew comes out, makes a turn, gets it away from the goalkeeper. Can't keep it in himself. Castaneda comes out. Jun running for the ball. Andrew thought, all I have to do is make a little move there and I can come out. So we're going to get our first substitution here in the game for your Bobcats. Andy Garcia is going to come in for your Bobcats. And coming in also for MiraCosta is going to be Ricky Toxtel. So Toxtel comes in. Anthony Rodriguez goes out for MiraCosta. Renner has it dropped into an empty space. And they give the ball up. right in the middle. High little pooch shot. So nice play by MiraCosta as Alonso Torres Rojas sets everybody up on that one. They just couldn't get it in. Alex Organ had an opportunity himself for MiraCosta. Trying to get it to Starks on the near side. They hit it back to Castaneda. Remember, if you head it back to your goalkeeper, he can catch the ball. If you kick it back to him, he can't use his hands. So you'll see in many times when the defense gives a header back, and you may wonder why. That's the reason, because of the rules. "21 minutes have been played. Foot put down. Basically step on your opponent's foot so that they can't move. Well, the referee's probably going to blow a whistle. So far, the Bobcats have tried to play deep ball to Andrew. It hasn't worked in this first part of the game. So the defenders move over the far line. Go down into the corner. Nice little play there by Gonzalez. Gonzalez cleans it back out. Kicks towards the middle. Nobody's there except a defender for MiraCosta. And that was Ricky Toxtel, who just got put into the game. So Ricky does a nice job of cleaning the ball out for the Spartans. Ricky, a midfielder. We're going to get another substitution for your Bobcats. Kevin Sanchez now in the game. Alex Martinez comes out. So Sanchez for Martinez for your Bobcats. Throw in for the Bobcats. Near line. Backside. Nobody's there for your Bobcats. Overshot by Gonzalez. As the Spartans come away. Everybody in the middle. Shoved from behind. No foul called on that by a nice little push by Steven Renner. And we're going to get another substitution for MiraCosta. Alonso Torres Rojas, who started the game, then went out, will come back in. So Charaboy goes out for the Spartans of MiraCosta. 0-0. 24 minutes have been played. I don't feel like either goalie has felt a real threat on the field against them. And again, the Bobcats looking for Andrew just to go deep and then letting him play 1-on-2, 1-on-3, 1-on-4. Which so far in this game has not worked for the Bobcats. Then again, we watched the women last night. It seemed like it was all Santiago Canyon that first half. Quick run on the outside. Jason Starks takes it to the middle. Now Andrew whiffs on it, driven in the middle. And defenders are up. Like we said, when you watch the defenders, they're at the 50. So offensively, now they're staying back with secure 3 back for the Bobcats. Dancing Soul and Ryan Mann. Mann gets it over to Gonzalez. Gonzalez tries to get it to Andrew, and it doesn't. And ball goes out. So Castaneda will have to go track it down. Brian from Carlsbad. Brent Kozer, who we've talked about, from Great Oak in Temecula. Dominic Wicks, Oceanside, California. Hey, I know somebody in Oceanside, California. So Gonzalez will sit down for a while for your Bobcats. Back in the game will be Alex Martinez, who just came out a few moments ago. 3 players warming up for MiraCosta. These 2 teams played early in the season against each other. Unless you're a perennial favorite early in the season, well, not much. We see a little disagreement down there as Brandon Jeffers drags somebody down. And, of course, when you get drugged down, Rodesender said, don't be tagging on the jersey. Far in the corner. Can't save it. It will be a goal kick. 18 minutes to go in this first half. On a seesaw game that's not really putting a threat or a burden on the goalkeeper. No rhythm, no consistency yet from either of these teams. The Spartans in white jerseys, blue shorts, going from left to right. The Bobcats, decked out in traditional team colors. Middle of it. Header, first time you would say shot on goal, and DeFrina is just there in the right place at the right time to easily make that save on Steven Renner. So Renner with a headshot, not with a lot of steam. But you look at DeFrina, very athletic. He was probably, when they played against Fullerton College, who has since lost and out of the playoffs, he was probably the most athletic player on the field that night. I talked to Ryan Osborne and I said, one thing about the goalkeepers for BJ, they are athletic. He made a couple saves that were remarkable. Dead run. Castaneda comes up and gets that one. DeFrino, 1.32 goals against. The team for Saddleback, 1.23 goals against. Goey gives up a smidgen more. Of course, we all know what a smidgen is because a lot of people will put a smidgen in your dishes for the holiday. Renner takes it off his foot, middle of the field. 6 back defensively for your Bobcats before a play can even be made. Foot's down, back-heeled score. Back-to-back games where we have seen a back-heeled shot in a game. And it should be Renner that's got that one. As you can see it, across the middle. The ball just lays there. What's he do? Once again, just like last night, makes that back-heeled shot with 15:26 to go. So I don't hear anything from the official scorekeeper, but I'm going to stay with my pick. So Toxel had the assist on that. Yes, naturally, great camera work here on SportsNetUSA.net. Lets you see that that was Renner who made that goal. And Renner has just played that thump game of soccer earlier this day. Waiting for another substitution. MiraCosta is going to bring in Jacob Clark. So Clark comes out. Renner goes to the bench. Well-deserved rest for him. Down 1-0. .30-minute mark. The Renner this season. Playing well. Bobcats trailing by 1. Need to find a little magic if they want to play tomorrow, next week, this coming Saturday. Against Cuyamaca. Deep drop. Far side of the field. Going to chase that was Kevin Sanchez. Couldn't catch up with it. So 1-0. Interesting. 2 heel goals in the last days that we saw. Somebody looking as they're dropping it to each other. Nobody's looking at the goal as a Bobcat. And it's because of the defense from MiraCosta, which is smothering out there right now. Steven Renner with 52 points this season. That's 52 shots this season. 25 points this season. Couple substitutions for your Bobcats. Jason Starks comes back in. Andrew Jun comes back in. Going to the bench for the Bobcats, Tyler Peterson. 34-minute mark. As Renner gets his goal at the 30-minute mark here in the first half. 1-0. The Spartans of MiraCosta. Well, yeah, Joseph Pavlovich, if you're listening, yeah, the trash was just sitting there, and like you've said, hey, Gordon Bombay used to say, the thing you need to do is clean up the trash. Well, that's what MiraCosta did. They cleaned up the trash, put it in the can, and they're up 1-0. So, Bobcats need to find a spark, something that'll ignite them on the field the way the women did last night to win their game. here on SportsNetUSA.net. This coming Saturday, more soccer as we head over to Cypress College as the #1 team in the nation. The women of Cypress College look to move on, as did the women for Saddleback College did last night. Both of them in opposite brackets. So if they were to both qualify for the finals in state, they could play each other for the state championship. Trying to go to Andrew on the near side. And so far, that has been the offense for your Bobcats. Looking for Andrew every time the ball comes out. You look for a little more diversity for the Bobcats. So we're going to get a couple substitutions for MiraCosta. Anthony Rodriguez comes in. So Rodriguez comes in. Alonso Torres Rojas goes to the bench. Look at your Bobcats trying to find a little magic. Here, they don't want to get down by 2. Want to go try to get this tied up with 37 minutes being played here in the first half. Trailing 1-0 on Sportsnet USA.net. Ed Ford and the old guy here on a Wednesday afternoon. Sunshiny day, cool weather, perfect day for any athletic adventure. Ed and I were looking across the way at a golf course saying, hey, there we go. Set up a camera here. Get them to do the state championships. Take that long shot of the hole. Works out well for us. So if somebody at the 3C 2A is thinking about golf championships for the men next year, don't forget us here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Bobcats trying to get a feel, an attitude. For Andrew, in the middle, can't control it. Castaneda goes out and takes it. You look at the Bobcats, they beat Santiago Canyon, they beat Orange Coast, they beat Santa Ana, they lose to Fullerton in a tough one, 1-0. They beat Compton in the playoffs, then they went to Oxnard and won that 3-2. And this is why they're where they are today. They're down right now, 1-0 against MiraCosta as they make another run here in the last few minutes of this first half. Nice stop by Oregon. In the middle. And you see the foot race over there. Galoob just says, hey, if you guys don't want it, I'll go and get the ball. And that's what he does for the Spartans of MiraCosta. So far, the gentlemen are being outrun. That happened in the first half of the women's game last night. So, like the women, the men being sort of outrun so far on this field. On a nice slide tackle. And it stays with the Bobcats. And, of course, you look at that slide tackle by Alex Martinez. And, of course, if you look and say, well, MiraCosta looks and says, well, I don't know, maybe that wasn't Inestra. Didn't necessarily like the way he got tackled for MiraCosta. Once again, taken away by MiraCosta. They just know what to do. The Spartans feeling comfortable right now as Jacob Clark tries to track it down on the far side. Can't do that. So we're at the 5-minute mark. 40 minutes have been played. 1-0 Spartans. As Renner gets the ball sitting there just in front of everybody, and Ricky Toxel gets the assist on it at the 30-minute mark in the first half. And again, you look at the defense for the Spartans. Ball's in the air. 3 defenders are back to track that ball while it's in the air, surrounding an offensive player. This is where you need to split straight up the middle. Now you need to release it. Trying to carry it so far in the box has not worked for your men from Saddleback. They need to start taking that shot about 5 yards outside the box, so that they have maybe a little more arch as they go to the far side. Nobody there. Try to put the ball on. Nice turn. This is where you make the move. Get away from one. In the middle. Thread the middle. And the ball goes off. So Nathan Aquino looked like he had a shot working for your Bobcats. And once again, Castaneda goes down sideways and makes the big save for the team of MiraCosta, the Spartans, here on Sportsnet, USA.net. And this was where, if you're going to take the ball, take it now. Maybe put it up from out there. Let anybody crashing the net have an opportunity to go up against Castaneda. Maybe you can out-jump him if you're a Bobcat. So that'll be a goal kick. 43 minutes of played. We're going to get more substitutions by the Spartans. Carlos Garcia comes in. Along with Garcia, Luke Adame comes in. Luke Adame, my fault. So Luke Adame now in the game for the Spartans. Deep kick. Trying to get it to the backside. So this is where you watch the Spartans follow up. They can't track down the ball in the air, but they follow up. So there's Luke Adame there when the ball comes back out. Alexander Oregon is looking for it at the same time. Adame, who's in the game now, all over the field. And here's where you make the run. Smothered in the middle. It's just going to be an easy stop. Shouldn't be much stoppage time in this first half. And this is where you need to outfight at hustle in the ball as it's going to go out. Throw in for your Bobcats. Little flip to Luke Meyer. Has that haven't come off his foot. Gives it to Ryan Mann. Back to Luke Meyer. Down to Joel Smith. Joel Smith in the center, playing defense for your Bobcats. And there where you see the ball, two people are tracking it for MiraCosta. Got about a minute to go in this first half here on Sportsnet USA.net. 1-0. Winner moves on Cuyamaca. Here on sportsnetusa.net. Jun from the corner. Crossing shot. Ball's out dribbled. Difference in this game is it gets cleared. Didn't happen for the Bobcats on the other play. On the middle, almost on a sweet-looking play by the Spartans. Ball's laid out there. Inestra almost takes it all the way himself. Up in the air. Jun goes to get it. He goes down. Nothing called. Ball goes out. Just an easy little tap. You're going to take it out and say, you know what, as Anthony Rodriguez does of MiraCosta, start all over. Ryan Mann waves everybody down. So Ryan Mann of the Bobcats waves people towards the goal. He said, let me back up here. Everybody get closer to the goal. As Ryan of your Saddleback team trying to direct traffic before his throw in. Deep throw in the middle, looking for a header off the goal post. But I like what Ryan Mann did as he had everybody go. And in that last shot there, that is going to take us to the end of the first half. As we come to the end of the first half, it's the Spartans 1, the Bobcats 0. Here on Sportsnet USA.net. Ed Ford and the old guy, happy to bring you this game here on Sportsnet USA.net. And of course, like everybody else, we look at the OEC All-Conference team, as Mr. Ford will come on over and sit down with me and talk. Jung, Gomez, and Yeager. Martinez and Aquino made the first team for your Saddleback Bobcats. Ryan Mann also was on that team for all OEC. Offensive Player of the Year, Paul Carrillo out of Santa Ana. Defensive Player of the Year, Andrew Areola out of Fullerton. And Coach of the Year, Greg Aviles from Fullerton. And those were the gentlemen who made your all-OEC team here on Sportsnet USA.net. Well, we can look at the scoreboard either from last night or part of today, Ed, and see who is playing whom. Where it may end up.
Yeah, there's only two games, Mark. The game that you're watching here on SportsNetUSA.net with MiraCosta being ahead by a score of 1-0. And the other game is Butte and Fresno. That game was supposed to be played yesterday, but due to bad weather, the game was moved. So couldn't get in that game, and as Mark told you, whoever wins this game goes on to face Cuyamaca in the next round. So neither one of these teams can get a, whatever we might say, a home game. Then Cerritos and Long Beach are going to be playing it on Saturday. And then the other one would be Cuyamaca against whoever.
Have you ever been down to Cuyamaca? I haven't.
No.
Oh, okay.
I kind of sort of know where it is, but kind of sort of never gone there.
Okay, all right. I was just wondering what their facility might be like and
well, I don't think they. I would assume they just play basketball and soccer, and I mean they don't play football. We know that they don't play I'll take that back. I'm not sure about baseball. They don't play football. We know that. And they don't have a softball team.
Okay.
Since we're not trying to pat ourselves on the back or sound more grandiose and elitist than we normally sound.
Yeah, well that's true.
But we do know everybody that has a softball team in the South region. So those are the games going on over on the women's side. As Mark told you, the women will be moving on to play on Saturday and they'll be playing Pasadena. That game will be at Pasadena City College, so unfortunately, sportsnetusa.net will not be there. And at 1:30, that's the time we have here, even though we don't have an absolute confirmation of that, it'll be Chaffee against Cypress in a big, big game. Up north, the two teams that are left, it'll be Sierra, a little bit of a surprise there, against Folsom Lake. And then City College of San Francisco takes on the number 1 seed in the north, and that would be Lake Tahoe. So it seems that, well, it's absolute. Both the number 1 seeds from the north and the south in women's soccer are going to be playing on Saturday, unlike in the men's where some of those teams have
they faded away quickly.
Faded away, knocked out on the wayside. Then also on that day, we have a bunch of this Saturday coming up. There will be various bowl games. It's Wednesday, or is it Thursday today? I can't remember.
Today's Wednesday.
Today's Wednesday. We have one football game, Long Beach and Ventura. That's at Ventura. That's in the SCFA Beach Bowl, so bring your beach balls to that. And football, San Diego Mesa and Riverside, that'll be one game in the Southern semifinals, and the other game will be Mount Sac and El Camino. Chaffee and Pasadena City College will play for the American Division Championship Bowl, and then in Northern California for the playoff teams, it's Fresno City against Modesto. That game at Modesto. Those teams are in the same conference, so they've already met once this year. And American River against San Mateo. That game at San Mateo. And then the Pepsi Sequoia Bowl with Sierra and College of the Sequoias. So that's your lineup.
That sort of sounds like the. Do we have? I know that. Saddleback is still in the playoffs for volleyball, or I believe they are.
Yes.
Is that this coming weekend too?
It must be. So let's check out those scores for you while we have some time at halftime. Of course, if Mr. Mouse would work here, it'd be a whole lot better. San Diego Mesa is playing against Mount Sac. Long Beach against Palomar. San Bernardino Valley against Cerritos. And is this right?
Okay, so
Orange Coast against Mission. Well,
So did we miss a day, Ed, and something happened to our ladies from
that, or we just
we were out of our minds?
Or we just don't know what we're doing. As usual, 27th, and today is the 27th?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's, it's because not all the teams are up there on the scoreboard. So,
okay.
yes. Saddleback is playing at LA Mission.
Okay.
Because they won, and we did that game, so we should have remembered, but we didn't have Albert here to remind us. So it goes like this. Number 1, Long Beach is going to, they have moved on. So is San Diego Mesa, so that is a game that will be played. Then Saddleback's still in, Orange Coast still in the, and Cerritos, Mount San Antonio, and Palomar. So it's Long Beach and Palomar, LA Mission and Orange Coast.
Yeah, Ed and I are doing the same thing. We're trying to figure this out because Saddleback won.
Well, maybe they lost LA Mission. Yeah, they lost LA Mission.
Oh, is that what happened? Okay,
so,
all right.
So, stupid us. So, here's the real deal. Long Beach against Palomar, LA Mission against Orange Coast, San Diego Mesa against Mount Sac, and Cerritos against San Bernardino Valley. Up north, it's Fresno, Merced, and Taft versus Sierra. American River at Shasta, and Feather River and San Joaquin Delta. So those are your teams that are left in, I just call it volleyball.
Yeah.
Because at the collegiate level, there is only one type of volleyball, and that's women's volleyball.
Yeah. I mean, the men play.
Yeah,
But,
men play, but hey,
yeah.
they're not Washington.
No,
They're not
no.
Stanford. They're not Penn State that won how many straight championships?
Mm-hmm.
It was some. How many was that? It was some incredible.
It was an
string.
incredible number.
So we'll see today if which one of these teams moves on. Saddleback needs to get a little more. I'm not a soccer coach. I'm not claiming I know the game, but just from my observation of last night and other games, they seem to be. They get to midfield and then they push it back all the way to the goalie. Then they come up again and they try the long kick down. That isn't really working that well.
Yeah, their tactics in this first half, and I'm going to agree with you. The tactics have been one-dimensional. They're always looking for their top player, Andrew, that leads the OEC in many categories. But then he is, when you watch MiraCosta, the Spartans, they will smother him quickly. And again, when you look at MiraCosta, they've got a goalkeeper that can really play the game with a goals against 1.14 is what he has done this season. And when you look at their team's goal against is 1.12. So this is something that needs to change. Of course, you've got to notice up here, Ed, because everybody keeps talking about it. Every school we go to, be it if it was SCFA, we would hear Palomar talking about it. If it was here, Matt Rogers last night brought it up to you about, hey, I heard that one of the sports that's now coming to community college, yeah, it's football, but it's not the football that most people would think it would be. It would be the football that most of us could play if we could run down the field. Corey Nealon, we're going to resurrect your career at the community college level.
Yeah, but I'm not sure they'd allow Corey to ride an e-bike during the game.
Oh, okay, all right. Okay.
But maybe they would. People ride e-bikes anyway. Saddleback College announcing that they have a flag football coach. So that's what Saddleback College and other colleges are thinking about doing, because it's been such a big hit in high school with the CIF. I mean, just
it's huge.
Hundreds of teams.
Yeah, it's huge.
So the new flag football coach will be Rick Braille. He comes from Tesoro High School, and he's currently the coach there. So it's going to be pretty amazing. That will start up after the first of the year, and probably in the spring. So somewhere around the time when softball begins at the very end of January, maybe a little later than that. It all depends. We don't know, but right now at this point, it's not going to be an official 3C 2A sport. It will be a very organized club sport, and the interesting thing and the kind of neat thing about it is that in that mode, it just won't be community colleges. It'll be, Vanguard puts together a flag football team. If Cal State Fullerton, whoever. So we'll have a mixture of universities and community colleges playing. So that, NAIA schools, NC2A schools having these club teams, and of course the community colleges. That's the same thing in, people don't talk about it very much, but there's a women's lacrosse league that operates. And Fullerton has, yes, Fullerton's in that, and Concordia's in that, Cal State Fullerton, I think Cal Poly San Luis Obispo is in it. So there's various teams. So it's going to be something like that. But I think with all the publicity that's been going on with flag football, that this is going to start off with a bigger bang than the lacrosse thing has. Because at one time there was talk of lacrosse actually becoming a 3C 2A sport, and that was 5 to 6 years ago, and it's never really materialized. There are some teams like Fullerton. There's a couple other community colleges that have club teams, but this looks like to me that within a year, maybe 2. I don't know what the germination period is for the 3C, 2A on new sports and how long it takes. Can they bring a sport in after just 1 year, or does it have to be a 2-year wait or something like that? But we shall see. It might only be 1 year, and this is just speculation on my part, so don't kill the messenger. But normally teams that, when they're about to join playing sports, they play 1 year as not as an experiment. I'm not sure how you would phrase it, but they play a 1 year probation, whatever you want to say, and then the next year they move up, and those teams are actually playing officially in the 3C, 2A. That happened a few years ago with Folsom Lake. They really didn't have all the sports teams they have now, because I think that happened with with softball. Softball played for a year. They were just kind of this affiliate team or whatever, and then the next year they applied and they moved into the Big 8 up there, which made them number 9 in the Big 8. Kind of like the Big 10, now has, I don't know how many teams does it have? 14?
14.
Or something like that?
Yeah. Well, and it's also, I do know that esports are going to be part of the 3C, 2A, I think after January also. So they're going to fit in there somehow. I'm not quite sure how, but
they'll probably put it in there, but and I don't want to hear the wrath of esports people, but some of the esports leagues that started out 2 or 3 years ago have already gone floppo. So we'll see how that one actually works out. But the enthusiasm for flag football is just amazing. I mean, there's no comparison, I don't think, between the enthusiasm to get this going compared to esports or lacrosse. And not trying to put down either one of those sports. Lacrosse is a fantastic game, fast moving, scoring. Athletes are really in great shape, and as you've mentioned before in years past, Jim Brown, some people may consider him the great lacrosse player. Look at what he did in football. And it's some sport. And of course, you have a team like somebody we know who went there and was a Tar Heel in North Carolina, and they're legendary lacrosse teams down there, both men's and women's. Mm-hmm. And that other school that's close by there that you're not supposed to talk about if you're a Tar Heel, so I won't mention it because I'll get in trouble. But it's got 4 letters, okay?
You mean she'd get that word all the way back to where she is right now?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I'm not even going there either.
Yeah. Wow. I'm monitored at all times.
Ed Ford's got that little thing in the back of his head right now. I always thought it was just, to stabilize you while you were walking. Now I know what it is.
Yeah, it's because, that's why I have the headaches, Just could press a button and...
There you go. Well, if somebody could press a button right now, it'd be BJ to say to his team, let's get that first goal within the first 2 minutes of the second half, as they're trailing the Spartans of MiraCosta 1-0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Winner moves on, takes on takes on Cuyamaca on Saturday. The loser, well, you get ready for that big turkey dinner tomorrow and just sort of mourn while you're eating pumpkin pie here on Sportsnet, USA.net. But until then, we've got an entire second half to play. The Spartans, the Bobcats, the men of both colleges here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Spartans moving from left to right on your screen. Your Bobcats moving from right to left. Your Bobcats moving from left to right. So Spartans right to left, Bobcats left to right. Spartans in white and blue. with green numbers on their white jerseys. So we're watching the attack now by the Spartans. Maybe a little adaptation of coming up, trying to have more in the box instead of going one deep, which we'll see if that happens. Spartans would like to find some sort of goal. Sinistra had it taken off his foot. So the move comes out. Set everything up. So we'll watch the run here by your Bobcats as they're down 1-0. They need 1 to tie, 2 to win here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Back line, looking to open up the front. So far, the defense for the Spartans has been smothering against your Bobcats. For every Bobcat you see, it seems like there's 3 Spartans waiting for them. And like we said, BJ is trying to feed it for your Bobcats. Can't do that. Loses it on far side of the field. Low driver there. Across the middle. Looking to turn. Goes down. That was a handball, not called. And that was an obvious handball as MiraCosta goes down, and you can't cover up the ball with your body, which is what he did. So you watch him go down there, and he lays on the soccer ball.
Yeah, you could see where he laid down. I mean, he was on it. He did roll off, but he was on the ball.
In the box.
In the box. So there's no question about that.
And there was explanation. I can tell the way BJ walked away. He was not happy with the explanation. Now, it could have been a condonable explanation because we don't have a microphone on the referee. So you as a Bobcat fan might be saying, okay, Mark, you said he covered it up. That should have been a penalty shot. You know, the referee could say, hey, this is what I saw. He got knocked down. He was trying to get up. It looked like he was laying on top of the ball. He was trying to recover. We won't know till we hear later from the coaching staff of your Bobcats what he might have been told. Now we look at a more controlled run by the Bobcats where they're sending up 4 or 5 now to be on the attack. Wilson in the middle. Turn, can't get it. Goes off a back heel. Restart things with Joel Smith. Joel Smith says, okay, let's go, Andy Garcia. Back to Joel. Joel's going to swing it to the far side of the field. Give it to Andrews. Trying to make the turn. Ball goes out. It's a corner for your Bobcats. 5 minutes have gone by. Trailing by 1. Everybody comes up to stay back. And, of course, you keep them back for the simple reason Chero Boy Inistra is back there at the 50. Nice save once again by the big goalkeeper, Brian Castaneda. And like we saw Inistra, be back there if that's just kicked a little further. Off the forehead of a player, and on the backside, we're going to get it stopped. So the ball was kicked. The player wasn't hit with a follow-through on the leg. He was just 2 feet away when the ball was kicked that hit his forehead. And when you saw that high fly ball going, that came off his forehead. So he's down on the ground. And for anybody who's played soccer, anybody who's had fun with soccer, the ball's not soft when you go out there and do that. The ball is hard when you go out there. And you like the sportsmanship as Dominic Wicks goes over and makes sure.
Yeah, and you're not talking about a bunch of weekend athletes or non-athletes kicking the ball around. We're talking about guys out here who have some skills.
Yeah, they can scorch it, Ed. So Jason Starks. No, it wasn't Jason. I thought it was Jason that took it in the head. Gus did. So Gus goes over the sideline, gets a drink of water. In the middle, need a header. Got to go up high, kick it through, saved. Ball's down on the ground once again. What a save by MiraCosta as Brian Castaneda goes down and just makes a all-out save. Looking like that little flopping hot dog on a grill.
Yeah, here it comes, Mark. And there he
is.
Knocks it
down.
away.
Big save.
Win or lose, Castaneda is playing just great in the goal.
Yeah. And of course, we have talked about how you need to have solid goaltending, good defense. You know, there's basic fundamentals you need in the game of soccer.
But Mark, it seems like in this second half, the Bobcats have come out more charged up and are keeping the ball basically within, the attacking half of the field.
Yeah, and Ed, if you look at the formations basically has changed, and so is the attack itself. Before, they were taking Andrew Junn and saying, hey, go on a dead run, we're going to feed it to you. We're all staying back on defense. Then you watch the change where they come up now with 3 to 4 forwards making an attack on the offensive end. Now, does that make you subject to giving up goal number 2? Yeah, there's a possibility, but you have to believe that your offensive attack is going to put them more on a defensive bend, being up 1-0. Feed across the middle, goes all the way across. And it was looking like a great feed right there for Andy Garcia. Andy just could not catch up with it from your Bobcats.
Well, if you change your strategy and your formation and you keep the other team, the Spartans, on defense all the time, you have a better chance of winning.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, Ed. I just think that the Bobcats just need to say they've had a good season. They weren't picked to make the playoffs. This is where you just don't say, hey, I hope we can win this one. You go out and, hey, you be the big aggressor. If you get beat, well, you get beat. But you don't want to say, oh, if we would have.
Yeah, keep putting pressure on the Spartan defense until they
till the whistle's blown.
Till they have a slight lapse and you score that goal.
Yeah.
Tie this thing up.
Exactly. So as you watch now, your team will now go more to attack. And this is where It is taken by the Spartans, where they will just that. Nice steal on the ball in the middle. Trying to get it away. Go down. Where's the foul? They're going to call the foul on your Bobcats. I thought Jason Starks was playing excellent offense right there. So they're going to call the foul on them. I'd still like to find out the explanation on the smothered ball.
Well, yesterday in the football game, we had an explanation of that Bakersfield brought a guy onto the field during the kickoff, and it was a penalty, yet there was no penalty yardage assessed. So we're waiting for that one, too.
And that's going to be against MiraCosta. We're going, and the crowd's asking to book the player. They do. They give me a yellow card. More body than ball. So you basically get that foul as Anthony Rodriguez gets booked on the play. And, of course, you're going to bring out Rodriguez because you don't want him to get number 2. So Rodriguez comes out. Alonzo Torres Rojas comes back in for the Spartans. So Rojas back on the field. And your Bobcats really having a better attack out there easily as Aquino has to come off his foot. He'll follow up, try to get the ball away. Control by your Bobcats. See what they'll do. Take it back. They're going to restart things all over again. So Saddleback decided they'll restart things with Martinez. Martinez takes it to the far side of the field. They'll go in the middle. Header back there. Floater just over the net. That would have been interesting to see what Castaneda does, as we're going to get another substitution for your Bobcats. So into the game, Alejandro Gonzalez comes into the game.
And Mark, so far, the Spartans haven't had any shots on goal in this half, have they?
No, not even really any threats.
So that's where this change in the strategy is working for Saddleback.
Well, and you've got to trust your 2 defenders that you have in the back line.
And your goalie.
Yeah. And again, what it does, Ed, and we've already talked about it, if I'm going to be the more aggressor, I might have to leave now 4 defenders back for the Spartans. As you see them, they have 4 defenders back on the back line quickly. They're up 1-0. They're hoping that's enough to get them to the next level. So Saddleback will restart its run in the middle of the field. Tyler Peterson will start things up. Take it all the way across to Nathan Aquino. Nathan crosses the field, changes things around. Off the middle. Taking that to Alex Martinez. Martinez will give it to DeFrena. He will start things over. It goes back to Martinez of your Bobcats. Again, in the middle of the field. Martinez will drop it off to Ryan Mann. Mann back to Martinez. Mann of the Bobcats gets it again. Takes a deep one to the far corner where it's got to get tracked down and goes out. So just a little leg too much by Ryan Mann. And Ed, you'll see it as we have a player down now for the Spartans who just went down and probably could be a cramp because nobody hit him. They're going to call for the trainers to come on out and take a look at him here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
Yeah, let's hope that it is a cramp, because You don't want your teammate playing.
Oh yeah.
You don't want your teammate playing trainer. Let those who are skilled and know all that stuff.
Yeah. Leave it to the athletic trainer that's down there. And you look at a team here from MiraCosta, you look at what they've done. I mean, it claims that you look at the amount of shots that they've had this year. They shoot 1.162, 1.7 shots per game on goal. They had 43 goals for the season. They beat San Diego Mesa, Southwestern, lose to San Bernardino Valley, tie Imperial Valley, tie San Bernardino Valley, and then come up with the miracle win, so they're here against El Camino. And I'm sure everybody over at El Camino is wondering what happened in that game as they lose to the Spartans 1-0. Saddleback now looking to make a run. Andy Garcia. They go back out in the middle. A little pushing now on the field during the play. And a little surprise. Far shot taken there. And that was real interesting is Gus in the middle of the field gave a shove to a defender of the Spartans. Nothing was called. So once again, in a soccer game that's only being determined by one goal, chippiness is starting to find its way in the shadows of the late afternoon here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Spartans get a call. And it's the first time, Ed, you brought it up, it's the first time the Spartans have really been down on the offensive end for the Bobcats.
Yeah, they need to. They're doing a very good job of defense, but you have to also get some offense going because you don't want to be playing defense the whole second half and back on your heels. You got to put some pressure on the Bobcats also.
So the Spartans run a play to the far side, try and clear it. In the middle again, a heel shot. So we've seen what they like to play. Ball comes down, continue. Go to the far side of the field. Picked up, need to go in a dead run. Across the middle, to the far side. There's no one there. Now the attack by the Bobcats. Hook it, baby, off the hands and save. That should be a corner for the Bobcats. So we're going to have a conversation. There's a yellow card because things are going back and forth. And Dominic Wicks doesn't even know why he got a yellow card. It could be conversation to an opposing player. Ed, I've seen shoving out on the field during the runs. Wicks looks over and says, why? Short. Pitch in the middle. Headed out. Off the side of the ankle. Headed out again. Headed in by the Bobcats. Trap. Turn. Nobody there. Player goes down. No whistle. So MiraCosta making its run on the far side. And the guy who's been active all day, Renner, is there. Goes around a defender. And he's the only one who has scored a goal today. Has been Renner for the Spartans. Renner with the goal, Ricky Toxel with the assist. At the 30-minute mark. Foul. And here's where the fans start to get a little upset because you have a player that goes down, and it was a slip and slide. He just slid into the goal himself. I'm going to do the old, hey, get my arms up, chest out in front. 21 minutes have been played in this second half. The Bobcats, down by 1, need to find that one goal to get tied up. That's where the turn has to happen. Cannot lose the ball. And Corey Nayland, if you're watching this, you know when I was talking about volleyball, you can't give up anything when you hit that bad serve. Here too, you can't give up things with a bad pass. You've got a run going. You need to put it in an area or on the foot of a Bobcat when you're making an offensive attack. Bobcats can start play immediately, which they do. They'll switch directions. Bobcats moving from left to right on your computer screen, trailing by 1. Again, trying to feed the ball down and hitting somebody in the back of the white jersey is not going to be the remedy in this game for the Bobcats. Renner all over the field today for the Spartans. Spartans playing whack-a-mole, as Torres Rojas says, I'll handle it, gives it to Inestra. Easy little save by DeFrena of your Bobcats. Looking to go deep. Short on looking for a header. Take the middle. People need to go, and you need to thread it to the right person. So you want to make sure you get it to that individual in your colors. They slow it down. Go back with a setup. Re-looking at it. And here when you watch the Spartans manning up when the ball touches a foot of one of your Bobcats. They take it to the middle. Dropping it off on a nice run down there as it goes to a goal shot. So we're going to see a few more changes with 21 minutes left in this half.
Spartans seem to still be playing solid defense, Mark.
Yeah.
But on offense, they seem to be a little hesitant at times.
Yeah. Well, the Spartans are sitting on a lead. They bring in Diego Martinez right now that's in the game. Gavin Galoob comes back in the game for the Spartans. And we'll see if they're trying to change things up. I mean, Diego Martinez, freshman out of Vista, California. So stay with a goal kick by DeFrena. And when you see that, all you're doing is losing that. You know, people would say, well, that's okay. They're just playing back and forth. No, you're losing 20 seconds when that happens. And what you're seeing is the Spartans are manning up now, Ed. So they're going to find a body and man up to the body. As they walk 2 defenders up, then you're going to go man up, get on a body. You're already in front of a player. Got to beat him to the goal. Got to beat him to the goal. That's a goal kick. Nice attack that time. They quickly start. Far side. That's a goal kick. And Ed, you can watch the Spartans. So they're going to get more fresh bodies out there. Because when you really look at the Bobcats, they're sort of riding the same people they rode in that first half. Hopefully they can find that group. As Castaneda has it put on his foot, he takes it out to the far side. We got 19 minutes, so it will be stoppage time in this second half. And this is where you need to go. The attack needs to go. If you're a Bobcat, you head upfield on that far side. And in doing so, you do what Andy Garcia does. You make them. Garcia is going to get a call. Garcia said, I didn't do anything. You're going to say it was a dangerous kick? I went up high?
Well, when you whack the guy in the head, yeah, I think so.
So Wicks goes down. Now he's up.
Now the crowd doesn't believe that's what happened, but
No.
that's what did happen. Advantage that Saddleback has, Mark, is you talk about the benches. The Spartans don't have a real deep bench. They don't have that many players.
No, but your bench only is as good as if they can muster something on there. And, of course, BJ right now is feeling good with the ones he's got on the field. It's a track down by the Spartans on really solid Leo Ayala all over the play for your Spartans. And then once Ayala leaves, it's Diego Martinez for the Spartans that just refuses to give up on that sole attack. Over the back of Jung. He's got to get it. Look to go out. Jung loses it as the ball is churned on a better defensive play, as it looked like the number one player could make it. So we're going to get more substitutions by your Bobcats. Tyler Peterson comes back in the game. Andy Garcia heads towards the bench for your Bobcats. So a big throw in from the far side of the field. MiraCosta says, hey, we'll look for a foul in the box. We're 3 for 3 on penalty kicks this year. Off the top of the head on a large throw, and doesn't do anything for your Bobcats. BJ McNichol, Daniel Pask, Eric Ornalis, Jeff Regan, Kyle Pisano, some of the coaches for your Bobcats men's team. We've had a very good season this year. So the Bobcats, who average about 1.77 goals per game and giving up 1.23 as a team. There's a trip. So, and that's going to be a foul on Gavin Galoob. So we'll build the wall with 15 minutes plus stoppage time to go. 30 minutes being played this second half, down by 1. So we've got 2 people there looking at the ball. We'll see who takes the kick. Should it be Ryan Mann? Ryan Mann's got a solid leg. in the middle. Tried to go in the middle of the hole that was created by the setup. Defrina takes it deep. Header to the left side. Once again, in the middle. Man, plunks it up. Nothing really there as Brian Castaneda makes it. And there's the break going to Defrina. Defrina hits it with a headshot. Taken out by your Bobcat. So Defrina comes out because there was a breakout. And now it's 2-on-1. Left in the middle, and we have a flag that went up for offsides. And that's the first real attack by the Spartans in this half.
Yeah, Mark, and that's the thing that you can't stay in the you can't let the Bobcats be in the attacking half of the field the whole time and not expect to win this game. The Spartans need to start generating some offense.
Yeah.
Because their defense is going to get tired, and you can't hold out that long.
Yeah, their goalkeeper, Brian Castaneda, has done an excellent job for them today.
I mean, I know you want to protect a one-goal lead, and a one-goal lead is a big deal in soccer, but, you know, just takes one heel shot, and the game's all tied up.
Yeah, Stephen Rayner, the only one who was scored in this game, goes to the bench for the Spartans.
Now, if you had a 2-0 lead, then yeah, you could just play defense, but
well, and
the Bobcats are still capable of scoring goals.
Yeah. And Ed, we saw last night 2 penalty shots by the women of Saddleback. So, I mean, that could happen in this game. But what you see from the Spartans is every time it looks like the Bobcats are making a play, somebody from the Spartans gets their foot on the ball.
They do. It's just one of these times they're not going to get the foot on the ball. I mean, they just need to be in the attacking zone part of the time, and they're just not in the attacking half of the field this second half.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, can he go all the way up into the bleachers? And
oh yeah, he could go right to the edge of the track. And as long as he releases it before he hits that yellow line, into the box, punched up, side kick. That's it should have been a corner. So far, the calls the women got last night, the men are not getting today. And yet, that's not to say anything against this very good Spartan team that has just been all over the Bobcats. Spartans just can't control it as Gavin Galoob just lets go off his foot. A little uncontrollable. Into the game for your Bobcats. Christopher Lukemeyer. Out of the game, Tyler Peterson. So basically going back to all his starters in this game. Stays with the Bobcats. 10 minutes left. 35-minute mark. This second half. It's the Spartans 1, the Bobcats 0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Don't forget this Saturday, more soccer here on Sportsnet, USA.net Albert Robles, Corey Nalen, and the old guy over at Cypress College for the #1 team in the nation on the women's side, Cypress Chargers. That game is technically listed at 1:30. We're looking for a confirmation from Cypress. Just a little short. Castaneda, his 6'1" frame with his reach, goes up and gets it. Gonna kill a little time, says, hey, you know what? I'm gonna walk till the referee looks at me and says, I'll just add this to the clock. The referee's going to say, you can't keep walking up the line with the ball. This is one thing I always love about all soccer players. Nathan Aquino starts down around the 20. Then he walks at the 25, where the referee's going to let him do that. And he says, well, you know what? Let me get to the 30. And if you don't blow a whistle, I'll go to the 35. And this is where you would hear me if this was volleyball. You've got to keep your serves on the court. For the Bobcats right now, nobody plays completely clean soccer, but the men have to clean it up at this stage of the game. And if you have a player making a run, you've got to make sure that you keep it close enough to that person making a run where they can catch up to the ball. Just a little too far today, just a little off on their measurements. Just like on that play, little off, Christopher Lukemeyer can't get to the ball. If you're Bobcats, just a little off on their game this entire match against the Spartans. Seven minutes to go. Let's say there's 3 minutes of stoppage time. About 10 minutes left in this game. You need to find that one. 2 in white and blue. Not the team you want if you're a Bobcat fan. If you're a Spartan fan, feeling good right about now. Saying Cuyamaca, great place to be after a Thanksgiving meal. Ball goes out, throw in for the Bobcats. To the far right side, header, no trailer for your Bobcats. Again, no trailer for your Bobcats. Go down. It's a foot race against 2. And when you get over there, Alonso Torres Rojas just becomes what they need to do and gets that corner, which just has the clock going tick, tick, tick.
Definitely that is the first corner for the Spartans in the second half.
Yeah, yeah. And again, Ed, it's been what you've said, too. They really played a lot of defense, not an offensive three. You got to give it to Frank Zimmerman, the head coach, along with Roy Sarmiento, Eddie Benito, and Jorge Rojas, the coaching staff for this Spartan team, for what they've done. They brought their team in today with the idea that they were going to win. When you looked at it, well, Cuyamaca and MiraCosta have played each other this year since they're both in the PCAC division. Cuyamaca 10-1-1, MiraCosta 7-3-2, San Diego City 7-3-2, and then everybody down, Palomar included, were really non-essential. But those first 2 teams, so it's going to be 2 teams, be it Cuyamaca or be a fellow team from the PCAC, MiraCosta, will be going on to play for the state championship if this game ends the way it is right now. Talked about the OEC dominance. Got to head down to the San Diego area. Foul. Another booking.
That one was ridiculous.
Yeah, a little knocking down.
Yeah, you know, push him with both hands, both arms on his shoulders. Yeah, he's going to go down, and you're going to get a foul called.
Of course, you look at Brian Castaneda in the PCAC, number 2 in the conference for goalkeepers. And of course, Renner, who scored the goal here, number 3 in the conference for the PCAC. For scoring goals, he had 11 for this season. So they have been at the top of the list when you look at what it's doing. Saves percentage, 729 for Castaneda. He's still in the top 5. You look again, once again, Iniesta in the top for assist for MiraCosta with 7. So they've had top players in their conference all year long, and they have showed up today against your Bobcats from Saddleback. We're at the 3-minute mark. You can hear BJ say, you got to do something now. You got to make a move. Probably thinking, hey, maybe there's 3 minutes of stoppage time. That'll give us 5 minutes altogether. 1-on-2. So you've got somebody running with an offensive player of Saddleback. You've got a trailer defensively on them. And of course, coming into the game now, well, like they always tell me, Mark, just call Anthony Papa. So that's who's coming into the game here. The freshman out of Mission Viejo, Trabuco Hills.
And as you said, Mark, there could be 5 more minutes left in this game with stoppage. MiraCosta still has to get some offense going. Yeah. If you get offense going, keep the ball on the other half of the field. That'd be very hard for the Bobcats to score.
Yeah.
But they're allowing the Bobcats to put pressure on them all the time. There's a mistake.
Castaneda, who lets it out there, crawls to get it, and then he's going to lay there for a second. The referee's going to come over and say, hey, if you're not hurt, get up.
And that's what I'm talking about. You know, they need to take the pressure off the defense, because that was close to being a goal.
Yeah. Quick throw in. Now you push everybody up because, you know, hey, if they get past you and they score a goal at this stage of the game, if you're the Bobcats, it really doesn't matter. Throw in for the Bobcats. Keno looks around for somebody of your Bobcats to be open.
And we are in stoppage time, Mark.
Deep kick. Got to get it in. Ball was laying there on the foot of a Bobcat. Little punch again in the middle. And you can see the coaching staff for this Spartan team, knowing, Ed, there's maybe a minute left, player down with another cramp. If you're a Bobcat fan, that's okay. This is stoppage time. Trainer comes out to get him.
Yeah, that doesn't help the Spartans, as you were saying, Mark.
Yeah, I mean, you're not killing the clock.
Yeah, you're just giving the Bobcats 20, 25 more seconds to play.
Yeah.
And if you're not putting any pressure on them offensively, then something's going to break.
Yeah, you really do now. I mean, the Bobcats were close twice with the ball just being down there by itself. Stays with your Bobcats. So they'll throw it in. We said roughly 3 minutes of stoppage time is what we sort of think, Ed. Maybe if there's any more, not much.
Well, it could be a little bit more from that last cramp. So.
Dufresne. And Dufresne is going to say, I had it controlled. The referee's going to say, no, you didn't.
No, he didn't.
I mean, Castaneda.
Yeah.
My mistake.
Yeah, he didn't have, and once again, if you allow the Bobcats to be on offense all the time and taking shots, sooner or later one of those are going to go in.
Yeah, so.
Just a little bit of bad luck there. That could have been a goal for the Bobcats.
Yeah, and we saw the Bobcats score, the women last night, Ed, score with 45 seconds left in the game, and it was the winning goal. So, and everybody thought that game was going maybe,
right,
go to overtime, but it was just an incredible dragon heel shot. And we've seen a couple of those shots today. It is a goal kick. This could be the final rush for your Bobcats. And if you're the Bobcats, you're just going to keep going. Everybody needs to go up. And this is where you watch as the ball is let out off the foot. And you could just see Andrew John, just heels and shoulders go down. Could there be a miracle left if you're a Bobcat fan? Need to find one. 2-on-1 break. Take it all the way down. Go across. Ball is taken.
Being too fancy.
Now the rush is on. Outnumbered attack. Got to make passes that are on the feet. You've got to make a play now. Take it back to the middle. Attack the goal, guys. And it's been maybe one too many passes in this game.
Yeah, and you have Spartans not even watching the ball.
And for penalty shot call. A trip. Well, if you are a Spartan fan, you will be saying, didn't Mr. Ford say this entire second half, we need to keep our offense up? This is, call it now, the outcome of this game. Castaneda has done a great job. Andrew with the penalty kick. Crowd will tell you. blocked by Castaneda. And that is it.
Wow.
Watch it one more time here. Castaneda took it away, chose the right direction. And so if you were to say there was a player of the game, Ed, for this game, Brian Castaneda for the Spartans had the game of his life, making that save at the end where a gift was there and the Bobcats could not cash it in.
Yeah, Mark, absolutely. Castaneda would be the player of the game. Just, I mean, he just saved it at the last few ticks of the clock, and you know the Spartans dodge a bullet there. They just weren't putting on a lot of offensive pressure on Saddleback, and a little bit better luck for Saddleback. And I'm not being biased towards Saddleback and making excuses, but a little more luck from them, and they would have tied this game or even won it. It might have been a 2-1 victory for the Bobcats, because there were a couple of those shots that Castaneda really saved it for them.
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly, Ed. It was really that game that they did luck out. But it was a fantastic season for the men here at Saddleback College. The women move on. The men got further in the playoffs than anybody gave them the love for, Mr. Ford. And it has been a fun soccer season for us, for the men and the women here at Saddleback College.
Yes, it has.
So for Ed Ford, I'm the old guy. For Albert Robles, who's not with us today, but we'll see him this coming Saturday at Cypress College, the men from Saddleback come up short. It's the Spartans 1, the Bobcats 0, here on SportsNet USA.net.